Okay, so basically we also have multi-level or conditional symbols as well. So symbols are or notes are able to do lots of things. A good example of this is things like weld symbols. When we do this, we have the ability to turn on and off certain items within that weld symbol. So is it one-sided? Is it both sides? You know, what do we want to include? Do we want to include the weld length or don't we? And things like that. So this works not only with weld symbols, but other types of symbols, and we have the ability to set up our own library of symbols to allow us to sort of reuse that data as much as possible and make those symbols as intelligent as possible. So if we're putting a symbol on a weld that's a particular size, let's just let it tell us what the size is rather than us have to, you know, duplicate our effort and type in the value. Okay, and then the last thing with respect to sort of content or items is with respect to our output. I've broken this up into just really two parts. A lot of people will, I haven't even included it, but a lot of people will obviously export to a PDF. The options there are fairly straightforward: export to a PDF. Okay, but the other things we can do is when we're exporting to a DXF, we do have the ability to do mapping of particular entities, and this helps when we attempt to import that DXF back to another system, whether it be AutoCAD or something else. Okay, and that'll allow the colors and everything to be as we might expect them in our other system. Product PVZ files, product view, that's the old term, Creo view. Okay, it's a lightweight format that can be used. It uses a product called Creo view. There's different variations of or license levels of that product. It is included with Windchill. There's a free version, but then there's also paid versions which give advanced functionality. We talked earlier about PMI, product manufacturing information, and 3 annotations being included in that as well. There is something that's called a recipe file, and effectively that file does control what gets output. So if you are exporting out a PVZ file and you don't see annotations, or you don't see, I don't know, simplified reps, or you don't see cross sections, or you don't see these different bits and pieces, that'll be coming down to your recipe file, and that's certainly something that can be controlled. Another thing that the recipe file does is it controls the tessellation. I guess effectively what that means is the level of detail. Okay, so we have a model, and we want to effectively create a really a lightweight version of it. If we are dealing with really large file, like large Creo models, and the file that we then end up with as our PVZ is not small enough in file size, let's say, or it's showing too much detail, we can control that. Okay, so we can adjust for that, and there are options in there for that.